Hello everyone, this is A52 back when I how to play today. We're looking at the game 10, Tricks Later, which is from Fudacoma Games and IFROM, which are rather like Japan and Korea. And it is a trick-taking game, as you might have guessed by the name. The name and the artwork is actually a play on the movie 28 Days Later, I believe it is, which is a zombie movie which I have not seen for some reason. So we'll put that aside. It's a game that's for 3 or 4 players. It says ages 14 up, probably because of the theme of zombies. It's not very family friendly necessarily. It's not for 8-year-olds basically. It takes about 30 minutes, give or take. You have a deck of cards that has 4 suits in here, technically 5 suits, because of the infected suit. So you got yellow, green, red, and blue survivors, and you'll see that all the 8s have a similar, all the cards of the same number have a similar character on. Like all the 8s here have this officer, looks like, and then the zombie suit, the infected suit, has a infected version of that character. So that's cool. I like all the 3s are like teenagers, the 1s are young kids. There is 1 0 in the purple suit, which is a dog, a zombie dog for some reason. All the suits go from 1 through 8 for the survivors. They have a nice big index on the top and a suit indicator in a different type of symbol. And it also indicates the value with that. So there's 1 scratch for the 1. For the yellow, there's 6 diamonds for the 6, etc., etc. Also on the opposite side, there is the numbers again. So if the card is upside down, you can still see what it is. So all the cards are 1 through 7 in the 4 main survivor suits, except for the infected suit, which goes from 0 through 8. If you are doing 3 players, you will remove 1 entire suit, and you will remove the, let me just verify, I gotta double check here, you will remove the 0, 7, and 8 in the infected suit. So you will only use 6 infected cards and 24 survivor cards for a total of 30 cards. With 4 players, you're going to use all the cards except for the 8 of the zombie suit, and you're going to deal 10 to each player, which I said I've already done. Apologize for not doing so. Just bear with me. If you hear some banging outside, I do apologize. So, the 8, the way this works is if a player does not have any of the infected suit, they can actually take the 8 and get rid of another card secretly without showing anyone. In this case, I have an infected. This guy has infected. This guy has infected. And this guy has infected. So we'll just remove this one from the game. Now, each player also has a board that has numbers from 0 through 8. At the end of the round, if your token here is on top of the 8, you'll get 3 bonus points. But we start off on the 0, and you get these tokens. Each player gets 1 or a marker that you put on here to identify where you're at. So this is a game. It's a zombie game, so you're trying to save or rescue survivors. Now, the way it works is 1 person, it says whoever last saw a horror movie gets to start. I don't typically watch horror movies because they just come across as cheesy, and I don't know, I just never cared. But I have watched The Last of Us and played The Last of Us, which some would call horror, so I'll say I am the start player, and I will lead, well actually let's say I lead this 4 in red. It is must follow is. So if the next player has the suit that was led, they have to follow. They have to play that. With 1 exception. If a player only has 1 of this suit that was led, they can actually play an infected if they have infected. Otherwise, they have to follow. Or if they don't have the suit that was led, they can play anything. In this case, this guy will play, say, a 2. And this guy will, let's just say he plays the 7 to start. So highest card of the suit led wins the trick. Everyone else is going to take the value of the card they played and increase their marker by that much. So I play the 4, I get 4. This guy's going to go all the way up to 6. And then this guy is going to go up to 2. Then, the person that won will collect all these cards in front of him. In front of their fence. They haven't been rescued. When they're rescued, they go behind the fence. If they get rescued. Then, you're going to go on to the third part. Which is, well, the third part is attack of the infected. If there's any infected, the winner of the trick would acquire all those infected, add up the values, and get rid of any survivors on this side that are less in a value. You'll see that in a minute. So, actually, I played the 4. Who played the 7 now? I forget. This guy played the 7. So he's actually going to collect all these cards, not me. The person who won the trick collects all the cards. Now, if this guy had, let's say, 6, he could actually rescue these 2 people and reduce the value of his board. So you'll see that in a minute, I'm sure. This guy's going to play, let's say he plays 4. I'll play the 8. This guy will play, let's say he plays the 2. And then this guy will play, let's say he plays the 5. So this guy's going to increase his by 5 to 7. If I can do math. This guy will increase this to 8. You can only go to a max of 8. So if he had played like a 4, he would still only go to 8. And this guy will increase his to 4. Then I won the trick, so I collect all these survivors in front of me. Let's go in numerical order here. And then what I'm going to do is I could rescue survivors. So, any cards that I have that are under this value, I can rescue. You start off with the lowest value always first. So I'm going to rescue this number 2. And I want the 4 here. And I'm going to reduce by 2 the value of this card. Now, I cannot rescue anything else because I only have a value of 2. And I would need at least 4. If I had a value of 6, then I could rescue this 2 and then the 4 or 7. I could still rescue both of them, but that's all I can do right now. Rescuing a level 8 is not going to be easy to do. And, yeah, that is only for the person who wins the trick. They get to rescue survivors. So all players actually check the survivor values. And so this person could also do that. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to rescue this 2 and put them in here, underneath, behind their fence. So I get to lead, and let's say I lead this 5 yellow. His player will play 4. This player, actually maybe he just plays a 2. Why not? This player does not have any. Actually, he does. He has 1 yellow. But he decides to play this 6 of the zombies. To show you what happens in that case. This guy plays a 3. This guy's going to increase his value by 1, 2, 3. I don't increase my value because I won the trick. You only increase the value if you lose. This guy would actually increase his value as well, to my knowledge. And then this guy is already at his max. Now, since I won the trick, I collect this zombie, and I'm going to actually reduce my score to 0. And then I will collect all these cards, but any cards that are under this value are actually going to be eaten, to my knowledge. So all of these are going to go in here, and then this could be discarded. So I have an 8 left. So then you continue playing. Anyone who has... So this guy has a 4, so he can do 1, 2, 3, 4, and so save this guy, and nobody else has anyone. And mine is at 0, so I can't rescue anyone right now either. If I'm following the rules correctly, which I believe I am. And then you continue playing until everyone has played all the cards. There is one thing a couple of things I should mention. First of all, I could not lead with a zombie card at the start of the game. You could only lead with a zombie card, the infected card, infected suit, I should say. Once that suit has been broken, it's the same as in the game of hearts, where you cannot lead with a heart until somebody has played a heart into a trick. So at the start, I cannot lead with an infected, but I could now if I wanted to. Additionally, if I played an 8 and somebody else plays a 1 of the same suit, this actually turns into a 9 for the moment, and they would win the trick. But then, when they collect this, it just becomes a 1. So I should mention that. Let's see what happens if I lead with a 5 in the zombie. Now this guy maybe plays, if it's a zombie, if I should mention that as well, if anyone plays the zombie infected suit, then you can play whatever you want. And it will be the highest card played that will win the trick. So in this case, maybe this guy plays this 2. He just wants to play the zombie. This guy doesn't, well, he has a 0, but maybe he just plays the green 2. And this guy plays, let's say, well, if he plays a lower valued card, then the highest is going to be me, and I would win the 5. But he could play a higher valued card. Let's say he plays the blue 7, or maybe he plays the yellow 7 to sort change himself here, and he will win the trick. Highest card wins the trick, irregardless of suit, if the trump suit is in, or the zombie suit is in. So if this guy's going to win, this guy is at 8, so nothing happens. I will increase mine to 5. And this guy's going to increase his, but it's already at the max. This guy takes a hit and goes back to 0 since he won the zombies. And then he's going to get these, but he's going to add up the value of these zombies, which is 7. And anything that is 7 or less, it's always the value of those cards or less gets eaten. And so these are going to go, we'll put them over here. Actually, sorry, this one as well. And yeah. So you keep playing until everyone has played out all the cards, and then you will score your points as follows. You get 1 point for every survivor you have under your board. You lose 1 point for everyone that got eaten. And you get 0 points for anyone who's still outside your fence, because they were not rescued. So anyone you rescued is 1 point. Anyone not rescued is 0. Anyone that gets eaten is minus 1 point. However, you cannot go below 0. So I would have just simply 0 points. And anyone who happens to have their token on the 8 at the end of the round gets free bonus points. So if I was there, I'd get 3 points plus 1. But then I would lose 5, so I'd actually have 0. And this guy would also be at 0. And that is that. You're going to continue playing until somebody has hit or surpassed 10 points. You're going to need a piece of paper and a pen to keep track of the score, which is not provided. And then whoever has the most points at that point wins. If there's a tie, you see who has the most survivors in that last round, and they would win. If there's still a tie, I guess you just serve a victory. So that is the game. It's a little harder to find. I think I got this on Subugaya out of China, but it is a bit harder to find. But it's an interesting little trick-taking game for sure. Comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. And we'll see you next time for more. Thanks for watching.